Hi everyone, this is Killshot 99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 4. This is going to be our complete recap video. Oh wow, we did spoiler stream on Saturday. We did reaction video Sunday night. Then we did a little bit of a controversial topic, and we just wanted to get it out there because what our fans wanted to talk about. So got some Sadiq theories out there at the 7:30. Go back and check out the playback of that stream. And then in tonight's stream, this is what we do every Monday night. We're going to give a recap, and there's a lot of good topics that are out there. So I'm sure there'll be some conversations, some super chats, some things that we want to drill in on. Certainly Aaron is going to be a topic of conversation all throughout the week. There's going to be other little sidebars that we get into. But overall, I'm going to go through each scene tonight, so buckle up, have a good time. I want to give a shout out to the Patreon Army. Thank you so much for everything that you guys do. A couple brand new Patreons. We got Ron Moore, Ricky Lutz, Alejandro Matinee, Kim Sharp, and our brand new PDL sponsor, Judy Perry. Thank you so much, Judy. Appreciate that. And, I picked this picture, and I know it doesn't go in sequence with what we talked about, but there's a couple odd things with this picture. One, doesn't this tree look like it's been chopped down? I mean, look, I'm no arborist, but this doesn't look like a tree that kind of fell, because a lot of times I think when trees fall, there's, some, shred, like an attachment. You guys have seen a tree, right? It falls over and there's still something connected to it. This looks like it's chopped. But the question that I have is, if a tree is chopped in the woods and no one hears them chopping, does it make a sound? Wouldn't you think that a tree this big, if someone did chop it? See, I'm really confused now. It doesn't look like the tree fell. It looks like it's chopped, but certainly somebody's out there chopping wood. I mean, I got to think like there's people guarding the hilltop. They're going to say, hey, you, stop chopping that tree. It's going to fall over on a barn and injure 9 people. Yeah, it's a little weird. So I don't know. Maybe it's just a plot hole. I don't like that word, but we'll get into it. We got some other stuff to talk about. So let's jump into just the way it happened. And I know this is probably the 3rd or 4th time you guys have either seen the opening minutes or talked about the opening minutes. Very, what's the word I want to dark, inclusive. Even the laughter seemed manufactured. Like, I guess my question is, and look, I know you still got to eat dinner. Kids still have to laugh. You still have to, participate. But the Daryl, Michonne, RJ, Judith, they felt safer than I would have felt. I just think that I'd probably be eating fast and say, hey, I'm going to sleep just to make sure I'm good to go. I just don't know if I'd be having family time. And I think that the good times versus the bad times, I think, were balanced out relatively well. But I didn't believe it. Even though they were laughing, I just felt like it was one thing to another. You know what? It reminded me, the opening minutes of last week reminded me of a game. You guys ever seen that game Mousetrap? Where you build stuff and then there's like a little silver ball and then it goes into one and then goes to the next one and goes to the next one and goes to the next one. Did you guys feel like the opening minutes was like a game of Mousetrap? I know it's a weird analogy and I'm probably going to blow some people away with that. Like, what does that even mean? It was, that Daryl led to Carol, and then, we see the shift and the combination between Sadiq and Lydia, and then we see Ezekiel walking by, and it's just like everything's just connected in that short period. It just felt like it was all just like one scene until we finally get to Ezekiel. So, yeah, Crystal, I would agree with that. Now, granted, I don't have kids, but I can understand that you want to try to protect them from that and give them those moments of laughter instead of keeping them on edge. No disagreement on that whatsoever. So we finally do get through the opening minutes, and then brings us to this tree. Now, we didn't see this version of the tree until they actually got out and, there was some fighting and some other stuff. But we know the tree hit the barn, and I feel like that scene, it was pretty powerful. In some regards, you're probably like, okay, look, kills just a tree falling. No, it showed a lack of power by two specific individuals. And I'm going to give a kills coin to the first person that can tell me the value of that scene and which two characters were stripped of their power. Let's get some kills coins out and if you guys are listening to playback, you don't know what kills coin is. On Freestyle Friday, we collect all these kills coins up, gives you a chance to do your own free super chat. Not Negan and Lydia. There it is. That's what I'm talking about. Joseph Grindstaff, first person to type. Erica, you were close. Roxanne Dunlap, you were close. Deidre Lesage, wrong. You picked Yumiko. But, yes, it was absolutely Ezekiel. So, Joseph, actually, Kel, can we give two? First two people, let's give kills coin to Joseph and also to Erica, if you can add those two to the ledger. Now, I didn't know it at the time that it was Magna. And then later on, when I saw the whole fallout with the Walker fighting, but Ezekiel certainly, he was frozen, paralyzed. But two other people stepped up. And really quickly, I'm going to give another kills coin, only one this time. Who are the people that stepped up when the other two hesitated and froze? Got to be quick on this one. Only one winner. There you go. Walking Dead nerd. Quick. That's the quickness there. Yumi and Jerry. Now, deeper meaning, setting them up, just food for thought. We don't have the traditional leadership that we used to have. We got a council in Alexandria. We got Ezekiel supposedly leading the Hilltop. But now it looks like, hey, if I got to step up and make a decision, I'm going to step up and make a decision. Earl also a little bit outspoken as well. Earl, we're already at war. We just don't know it yet. 9 injured, roof collapse. Half still trapped under. And Ezekiel, nothing. All right. Next topic. After that opening scene, we shift to something. And let me say this. I'm going to talk about this tonight. I'm not going to dwell on it too much because it is going to be something that we're going to talk about tomorrow. I'm upset about it. And if I talk about it all night, then we're not going to get through this stream. I'm not happy with what is going on with Aaron right now. I felt like at the end of episode 3, Aaron and Negan were in a good place. Apparently, we didn't see it happen. But you can only imagine that Aaron marches him back to Alexandria. Doesn't get people together and say, hey, look, we were in a tough spot. This guy Negan really proved himself. In fact, we get none of that. And we start out with militant Aaron, who was just crying like a baby last episode. Negan, where are you going? Where are you going? I'm going to keep guard if that's okay with you. I mean, completely wrecked weak Aaron. But then he goes back to Alexandria and just like it never happened. Training people. Now, I'm not saying that he shouldn't do his job. I'm not saying he shouldn't train people. I'm just saying that this animosity that he holds for Negan really came to fruition toward the end when he voted him down. Now, at the beginning of it, I thought, okay, Aaron's got a job to do. Okay, Aaron's, turning his head to this bullying. Okay, but then it's like, I kept saying okay for Aaron. And then when we got to giving Negan the benefit of the doubt, even after Daryl said, no, I believe her. And I know I'm getting ahead of the game here, but just absolutely just blew me away. Oh, pun fully intended, Fluff. He is blinded by his anger. So there's a couple things that really set me off. One, hey, train them, you're dead. Very militant. But then we know what is Gage still doing in Alexandria? Now, Michonne did say later on, some bullies you can live with. I mean, how many of you would just like to just grab Gage by the collar? I mean, wasn't he the one that we most likely wanted to die last season? I mean, he was a punk when he pissed all over the walkers. He was a punk when he teased Lydia about Henry, lied to her. And the mask. There was nothing funny about the mask. And here's the thing. Do you guys think that it was just a little bit of spontaneous humor with Gage? And I know somebody said in a stream, I don't remember who it was. Might have been Ellis. Ellis Smith, was it you about 2 weeks ago? And let me see if I can quote here. It may not have been. But was it not you a couple weeks ago that was defending Gage and said, hey, just give him a chance. His character needs to develop? I want to make sure. I don't want to call on somebody inadvertently. Okay. I know you and I sometimes have some back and forth. But anyway, it's somebody. It was somebody that is a regular contributor on our stream. And they said, hey, Kills, they didn't call me a hater, but they said, give Gage a little bit of a break because, he's young. Let his character do something. So here's how I know. And let's do this. What Gage did to Lydia was premeditated. How do I know it was premeditated that he was going to bully Lydia? First person that gets it, I'm going to give you a Kills coin. Kel, keep those ledgers going because we are going to have a very, very active stream tonight, and we're going to have a very, very active Freestyle Friday. First person that can type it. And if you typed it earlier, I missed it. There you go. Rolo. He had a burlap mask with holes already cut into it. So think about that. Let me walk you through that. Now, if he would have just said, hey, Lydia, you think your mom will take me? Oh, no, she kicked your ass out. If he would have just said that, I wouldn't like him. But I would have thought, that's just a dumb, random thing to say. But the fact that he went through the trouble, he had to go find the burlap, make the mask, cut the holes out of the mask, and then wait for the opportune time to make a scene in front of her. Completely unacceptable. Now, what's worse than a bully? A murderer? An enabler. A person who is screaming at people and you got a mechanical arm and you're in a situation where you can shut that shit down, no exceptions, and you don't. Aaron could have made a point to stop it before it ever became a big deal. He ignored it. And there was someone else who had a chance to do something about it as well. Who else ignored it? Oh no, bigger. Bigger than Father G. Somebody else ignored it. Exactly. David Buzz. Daryl ignored it as well. After she pulled the stunt at the table, Daryl said, I'm going to go speak to him and set him straight. Well, apparently, he didn't set nothing straight, did he? So, you got two of the most badass characters in Alexandria, and they can't handle a couple of kids. Fluff the Flamethrower, super chatting it up. Thanks for that super chat, Fluff. The longer you let a bully run over you, the worse it will get. Got to show backbone. Fluff, wasn't it, hopefully I'm right on this one. I'm not 100%. I may have caught the tail end of it. Fluff, was it you that typed that your son stood up to a bully the other day? God, I hope I'm not wrong on this one because people are going to be like, Kills, you're just making stuff up at this point. Please say it was. I hope I'm right. Okay, thank you. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to count to myself. And, I'll pop in occasionally, but I thought I saw Fluff, and I want to interrupt this conversation, but I thought, something along the lines of, I'm really proud of my son today, stood up to a bully. So, as a parent, that's got to make you really proud. But as a parent or as an adult, you should certainly set the example. Aaron had a chance to do something. Father G had a chance to do something. And I think Father G would have. Daryl, if you want to give Daryl the excuse and say, okay, he's a little bit busy, but I'm going to talk about Daryl a little bit now. I'm not going to be a Daryl hater because that will not go over well in my streams because I have a lot of Norman Reedus fans and a lot of Daryl Dixon fans. But I'm not overly pleased with Daryl in the mid part of the episode, but he came full circle and figured it out. When Michonne said you'll do the right thing, he got it. Now, Daryl probably has a right to be a little bit more upset. But Aaron did lose Eric. So I'll give him that at that point. All right. Let's table the Aaron conversation for now. I said I wasn't going to make the whole stream about that, but he turned a blind eye to it. Tune in tomorrow at 7:30, and I will absolutely unload my wrath on Aaron. Just be ready tomorrow night. All right, let's get on with this story. So, possibly one of the most profound and deepest moments that I remember from The Walking Dead in a long, long time. Michonne and Judith. And if you did not appreciate the dialogue and the amazing acting of Kaylee Fleming, I'm just blown away every time she speaks and how it ties into the story. But maybe I don't know. I don't know what is better, her acting or the script that they give her. Because everything she's done has been almost perfect. The gun, the hat, the interaction. You know, last season when they did the one scene where she really acted like a kid and Michonne had to come save her. There was a scene in last night's episode that was a callback to last season. I'm going to talk about that later on in this stream as well. Lure the Purr, a.k.a. Tyler Bradley. What's up, Tyler? Angela's doing great things with character development. I feel like Negan Alpha thing will happen, but it'd be cool to see Judith do it instead. It would. Tyler, here's the only thing that I would say with that, is I think Judith's maturity only serves 2 points. And one of those is not to kill Alpha. Just my opinion. But I'll ask the audience if you agree. Judith's maturity serves A, to allow Michonne to leave her behind. And the more adult she looks, the easier it is for Denai to leave the show and Kaylee to stay on the show. That would be my first take. Number 2, her maturity accelerates how quick she can become a star on the show and become the future of The Walking Dead. Because they are going to start recycling actors. They are going to have people that can step up and become stars. I mean, we could probably identify which people are and which people aren't, but RJ and Judith could potentially be the future of The Walking Dead, my opinion, if they're going to go 10 more years. Ecom. Judith even has good jokes. She had a little bro punch. She did. Now, Ecom, I do want to say this, and I'm nitpicking a little bit. But go back and watch it again. The dialogue was perfect between her and Michonne. And you guys can call me out on it. You can say, no, Kills, you're too picky, you're wrong. When she made the joke about RJ, it did not seem organic. It seemed like she struggled with that line. I didn't want to call that out until you mentioned it. I liked the joke, but the way she told the joke, and I went back and watched it like 2 or 3 times, it seemed like it was forced. It wasn't like off the cuff. Like that's one of the things that felt like she read it. Would you agree or would you disagree? And if you guys think I'm just nitpicking, it's fine. But that's just kind of what I saw. It was like, wow, set of eyes, friendly set of ears. It's all good. And then it was almost like a pause there. I knew that RJ would be good for something one day. It started out slow, and then she kind of ramped up with it. But she's incredible. Shannon super chat and says, Judith worked out what the Whisperers have been doing by working the group tirelessly, so the Whisperers have to beat them, too tired to fight back. That was incredible. It shows that, Shannon, there were some really good things with that some of the best generals they're talking strategy and what they're doing, and Judith just used a common sense philosophy. What's beautiful about that is it shows that Alpha has the war mentality of a child. It's like, you know what? Some of the weirdest things actually work. And while you're, covering the flank, covering this, put people up the towers, Alpha's going to, throw some juvenile stuff at you that's like, whoa. Maybe she won't throw the whole horde. Let's just keep them busy with this and this and this until they get exhausted. Throw in a little bit of psychological warfare, and you got it. Absolutely. Good point, Shannon. DeMilo Young says, agree. She did not believe it. She probably hated that line. Yeah, like I said, I'm glad several people, DeMilo, thank you for that. Go back and watch it. Just, if you're really into the dialogue and the conversation, the mood and the moment, I would challenge and say it was humorous, but it just felt a little bit unnatural. It felt forced. But you know what? If those are the minor details that, and it's not to bash The Walking Dead, but when we're down to that level of detail, you can tell we got a great season going on. I'm really curious. I do want to get some numbers in this stream. One of the numbers I want to get is we got a ton of people. We've had 400, 500, 600 people during our streams, the recaps. Everybody here, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you guys are loving us, we had one person that popped in, didn't even stick around and gave us a thumbs down. So I'd like to at least show all the people watching the playback that we just got a lot of love, a lot of support, and a lot of likes on this channel. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. So as we transition from the Judith line and the tactics of war, we got Ezekiel in the house. Rollo Adams. Gamma sending the horde. Alpha wouldn't harm Lydia. Rollo, I really like that. I like that somebody else could be behind this. Now, Judith brought up the skins, the whispers. But someone else pulling the strings, forcing the hand a little bit. Now, this name has not come up a lot, and I know it's bigger picture, season chat and debate. Is it possible that Beta is forcing the issue? That Beta sees a little bit of Alpha's weakness, and he's trying to end this. I'm not going to throw it out there that I'm willing to sign my name on it just yet. But I just don't know that Gamma has the resources or the access to kind of go out and do her own thing, like, you know. Plus, when Gamma says, not ours. I mean, I believed her in a weird sort of way. I just feel like if Gamma did it, she'd be like, you know what? Get your ass up there and meet with Alpha. Yeah, we sent it. What are you going to do about it? Because Michonne basically says, Call off your horde. Not ours. Not ours. Okay, sure, we'll meet with her. It just felt, it didn't seem to me like it was Gamma. She did. It seems like Gamma is like that's a great point, Tammy Heitzman says. Like she learned to speak from Jadis. Just a little bit of food for thought. Like I said, I'm not ready to go full scale. Beta is kind of doing his own thing to force the issue a little bit. Hey, in fact, there might be an actual traitor on the inside. I mean, Michonne said, 3 times, like once, twice. I don't know what example she gave. Coincidence. 3rd time, we're going to question them. All right. After the Michonne and Judas scene, I'm not going to nitpick this either, but it was perfect timing that Ezekiel happened to be going to kill himself at the time that Michonne was going to Hilltop. But I liked it. Not everything can be perfect. And I liked it for a couple reasons. Is Ezekiel has been through as much as anybody. I mean, let's face it. Benjamin, Shiva, Henry, he got demoted. I mean, he went from being the hotel manager at the Ritz-Carlton to shift supervisor at the Super 8. I mean, he lost his kingdom. And Carol. So I would argue, Ezekiel, we talk about Sadiq, we talk about Carol, we talk about everybody else. He is a prime example of somebody that is internalizing everything, which is just as dangerous. Let me go to Dark Star. What's up, Dark Star? What if the writers are planting a seed for the future with Judith and RJ maybe? Judith grows jealous. Judith grows jealous. Woo! Can I try this again? All right, everybody. One more time. What if the writers are planting a seed for the future with Judith and RJ? Maybe Judith grows jealous of RJ, especially once she learns the truth if a real father. Just a thought. So, I love it. That is a super chat we almost need to take a picture of, Dark, because that might be something. Hey, if we're still doing what we do 6 years from now, I'm going to remember October 28th, 10:03 p.m., that was a super chat. I think it's incredible foresight. Before we get into that, I could see Judith and RJ, the future of The Walking Dead, but Judith and RJ, absolutely. I love it. I love the long-term vision and the thought. So great comment. Appreciate that. Ben Stevenson, super chat, and it says, Beta would send the Horde after Alpha dies, doesn't care about Lydia's safety like Alpha does. P.S. What Michonne said about Lydia there, important. Certainly, as long as Lydia is protected, Ben, no doubt about that. And we'll highlight that as we get to the middle. So hold that thought just a little bit. But Daryl seemed to get it. Now, if Daryl can follow through on it is a different story. Daryl almost didn't protect Lydia the first time, but at least he watched over her the second time. And I'll talk about that as we get further in the stream. So it certainly was important. There were a few lines that I know Shannon M typed in on the Facebook fan page maybe yesterday, but it was like, this episode was awesome, and I can't wait to break it down. So as I said, we want to get some more numbers in here. So if you guys are just joining, 1 to a 10, everybody, rate last night's episode. Give me from a 1 to a 10. I need to know exactly where you stand, what's your level of enjoyment, level of the story, what you thought about the characters, what you thought about the subplots, all of the above. Captain Crawfish says Zeke went from a thrown down easy street to an outhouse. Yeah, Zeke is dealing. He's dealing. So I love the high scores. Absolutely love the 8s and above. And you know what? Those of you 8.5, 9s, 9.5 absolutely showed the level of enjoyment. So for one, somebody asked in last night's stream, did Michonne give Ezekiel the kiss of death? Okay, well, first of all, Ezekiel gave Michonne the kiss. Let's be clear about that. So Ezekiel is absolutely blank. The word I would describe him is, and I think Kari Payton did an amazing job showing someone who lost his soul. No purpose, no reason to take another step. It's over, and I cannot help anybody anymore. Rock bottom, literally, because he was about to hit some rocks on the bottom, Ecom. No doubt about it. Michonne did some things that were absolutely brilliant. Number one, she asked him to step away from the ledge. He wouldn't, shook his head no. She stood right beside him, basically saying, if you're going to jump, you're going to do it with me standing right next to you, so I have to see you all the way down. If he was going to do it, she wasn't going to stop him. But what she did is she created that emotional bond and said, I'm right here for you. Brilliant. Then once she got him talking, open up, tell me all the things that are wrong. Somebody did this last week in a different way. So I'm going to give a kills coin. If you can tell me last week who used a similar strategy as Michonne. And I made the comparison last week between Michonne and this person. There it is. Julia Muse. First person to get it. Negan. Negan used a similar strategy. The reason I wouldn't go with Dante told his story. Negan extracted Aaron's story. Just whatever it took. This is the way the world is. Just got him to open up about Eric, about all the anger. Everything came out. Aaron was holding it all inside. He got it out. Ezekiel is holding all this inside. Michonne didn't have to piss him off to get it. She related to him. And she got him to open up. And immediately identified what the problem is. Benjamin, Shiva, Henry, lost my kingdom. All of the above. Well, Lewis Grimes says Aaron is weak. I got to tell you, Ezekiel's pretty weak too right now. If he's at a point where he's ready to stop fighting and ready to jump off a bridge, he's weak. Michonne was brilliant. Let me also say, there's a big difference. Michonne also, I'm giving away so many kills coins tonight. Michonne's brilliance was also shown by the fact that she did something the complete opposite of someone else last week. If you can tell me who that other person is, and how Michonne dealing with Ezekiel is much different than the way this person dealt with someone else. You're really going to have to dig into this. Oh, no. Not Aaron. It is a female. Last hint. Ben Stevenson. I'm telling you, Ben, it's like a radar. When I start talking, Ben just zooms in. Look at this. Look at how Michonne, when Ezekiel kissed her, Michonne should have said, she could have said, whoa, hold on. You're not doing that. She kissed him. She allowed him to feel a connection. Rosita, even when Eugene hinted at it, even the slightest hint, Rosita was abrupt, straightforward. Eugene, I got to tell you something. This is not ever going to happen. She didn't care if that broke his heart. And look, I'm not saying it was wrong. Rosita has a right to handle however she wants. But she even realized how abrupt it was when she said it. And she was not even allowing it, not even a thought of it. Whereas Michonne embraced him, comforted him, and got him to talk and saved his life. Commodore, whoa, who falls for Aaron? Eric and Jesus no more. Aaron is certainly heartbroken. And, I don't know that we're going to see Aaron have a third relationship. What I'm going to say is Aaron's going down a dark path. And Commodore, we're going to go a little bit beast mode with Aaron tomorrow. I'm going to table some of it because I could probably get started talking about Aaron and go a whole hour. But I'm just going to sidestep it a little bit. But here's the thing, because I think we've made the theme of The Walking Dead about this season, because of what's been said, we've made it about paranoia and psychological warfare and PTSD. And that really is that's the acronym of the season, right? I think I've seen that typed more than anything this season. And to a point where I think when there's a problem and we don't know, and I'm not saying, don't twist my words here. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. What I'm saying is I don't want that to become a catch-all. Oh, you know what they're dealing, it's got to be PTSD. It's got to be something they went through. Sometimes it is, but I think we're missing the other psychological issues that are happening. Depression is an issue. Suicide is an issue. But also, when you get to these dark places, there's two beacons of light. And we're glossing over them. Negan saved Aaron's life. And Michonne saved Ezekiel's life. So here's my question. What are you going to do with it? Each of these characters have a second chance. Aaron was good as dead, and Negan saved him. So we get so caught up in the flashbacks and all of those, we get one example of Aaron who is not making the most of his chance. He is allowing people to be bullied. He's not supporting Negan. He's not telling the story. But then on the other side, the question is, what is Ezekiel going to do with his opportunity? And I want to know what you guys think. Leave your comments right now. I think Ezekiel is going to die trying to attack the Whisperers because I think he feels like he has a purpose and has to do something for Henry. He needs to do something for Henry. He needs to do something to prove to Carol he's a fighter, not a wimp. Commodore, beast mode. Will Aaron gain weight, become a bear now? Yes, he will. He'll be a bear with a mechanical arm. That is the most dangerous bear you'll ever see. How would you like to fight a bear like that? Wouldn't be fun. I'm not, look, I know they throw us some curves from time to time, and they do like to mix up the story. The Ezekiel storyline, to me, seems one of the most predictable that's out there. Man has everything. Man loses everything. Man hits rock bottom. Man's given a second chance. Needs to give redemption, but his arc is over and dies. I mean, I think the Ezekiel, it's pretty straightforward what we're going to see with that. Ecom says maybe Ezekiel keeps Hilltop from falling. It's a good point, Ecom, but how does he keep it from falling? Does he survive in the process, or does he not? Ezekiel said something really powerful. Have you guys ever heard? Rhetorical question, but quick, give me a hell yeah, give me a thumbs up, give me something if you've ever heard actions speak louder than words. I know you guys have heard it. Ezekiel said something that I thought was pretty powerful, and Michonne kind of nodded. She didn't agree. But Ezekiel in that conversation with Michonne said, I don't even know how to speak to Carol anymore. So let's do some deductive reasoning here. If you don't know how to speak to your ex, and let's tie in, what did Carol say about Alpha? When they were in the woods and Michonne comes up and starts talking to her, Carol had the epic line of the season. And I'm going to throw this out to the women. Bitch has to die. Okay, so Alpha kills your son. You're grieving. The father has no plan to go out there. Carol's sole purpose now is to kill Alpha, right? She absolutely, her purpose is to see Alpha die. Ezekiel has no way to talk to Carol. She gets off the boat. Hey, good to see you. Okay, bye. How would this conversation have went down? Carol gets off the boat, and Ezekiel says to Carol, hey, no. I need to talk to you. I know you think I wimped out. I'm going to kill her. Do you think that maybe Carol would have been like, Carol's been out there looking at, let me say this again, okay? Carol has been out there looking for Alpha. Ezekiel has been sitting on his butt, running the Hilltop, trying to get back to a normal life. Why didn't Ezekiel go to Carol? You really want to talk to her? You want to know why you can't talk to her? Because you haven't pulled her aside. Let's go do this forever. Let's go finish this job. Let's go kill her for killing Henry. That's why she doesn't want to have anything to do with you. You wimped out, man. Ezekiel needs to go after Alpha, and he's going to be unsuccessful. I mean, Michonne probably sees it. Now, it might not have been the right time, but how many people, when Ezekiel's giving you that whole, I lost Benjamin, I lost Shiva, I lost Henry, I lost my kingdom, I don't even know how to talk to Carol. I would have said, dude, you need to, no, I would not have said that. I would not have said it, sorry. I would have said, maybe Carol wants you to go help her find Alpha, because do you know that she's been out there looking for Alpha? Did you have any clue what she was doing? What kind of man are you to leave her to go out there and do it by herself? She's trying to avenge Henry, and you're not. Ben Stevenson, idea. They keep hinting Zeke's sick, heroic death. I certainly think it's going to be a heroic death, man. I think he's going to get himself in a rough situation. I mean, look, we love our heroes as long as they don't turn into wimps. Ezekiel needs to die in a very, very epic fashion. How many people would like to see Beta kill Ezekiel? Like an epic battle between Beta and Ezekiel. Let Ezekiel go down fighting and let Beta really step up and get that kind of signature kill. We got another super chat. Crawfish. If you go out in the woods today, you better go in a disguise. Wait a minute. There's some lyrics there. Hold on. Is that from a song or just general advice? Absolutely. Shannon M., when Negan be there, when the four get beheaded. I'm going to say no, Shannon. I don't... I don't know if it's... That's tough. You kind of stumped me. I don't have an answer. I'm trying to visualize several different ways it could go down. I mean, I'm kind of at the point right now where I'm thinking, all right, Alpha's going to mark the border. We know that's going to go down. It's probably going to start with Kelly this coming up week, because Kelly's going to go out. She's going to cross the border. She's doing some things on her own. She's as good as dead. Negan is with Brandon. I don't know how much of the Brandon storyline. I think in the comic, Rick had killed Brandon's mother, and then Negan gets wind of it. Negan kills Brandon. So if I had to look in my crystal ball and say, how would this go down? I could see him not doing anything to prove that he's loyal. I don't think he could do it and garner any favor with the audience. I think that would be too much for the audience to deal with. Yeah, there's so many ways that could happen. And then this week, he's on a bus and he's crushing a walker's head and he's saving somebody. So, yeah, we're still a ways away from how Negan gets into the Whispers. I think the beheading's going to happen before he officially becomes a part of the Whispers. But Shannon, I do think he's going to have to do something to prove himself. But, is killing Brandon gonna? Is there something that would accomplish for the Whispers? I don't know. There's still some loose ends that I'm not 100% sure with. It's a good question, but yeah, we're gonna have to wait to see how that plays out. Really, really good comments. Good. Oh my God, we are breaking this thing down. Do you guys feel like our recap is going to be like 3 days like it was last week, that this show was so good? I know episode 3, literally, we did a recap and another recap, and then we added another recap. And it's almost like you want to get through the entire episode, but there's just so much content that I think tomorrow night at 9:30, we're going to be doing our complete recap part 2. And hopefully we get through it, but if not, we might be doing this Wednesday night. There's some real extensive recap. Oh, man. Did Louis Grimes just coin something? The Walking Dead Season 10 episode complete recap. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Because I'm only through the Ezekiel scene with Michonne. So, as Ezekiel got rid of all his pity, and Michonne was there, she was his sounding board, there were 2 or 3 really, really good comments. I thought Michonne, and once again, I think she played the part perfectly. 1, she stood beside him. Number 2, she allowed him to kiss her without freaking out, and it saved his life. And number 3, she joked with him because she knew his personality. And I think that goes under the radar a little bit. She said, for the record, you're not a half-bad kisser. And if he would have put his head down and not had, that retort, I think she probably would have been worried. But then Ezekiel gives an Ezekiel line and says, oh, that wasn't even my best. And now he's back, right? He's good. He's in a good state of mind. But she does something even better. And she says, hey, next time you want to do, and he goes, something stupid, don't go out on your own. He didn't say he wouldn't. He looked at her and he said, thank you, Michonne. Those 3 or 4 lines back and forth, incredibly well written. Closed one story. The story everybody out there saying, are they a couple? What's going on? Is this a relationship? Nope. Closure to that. But certainly, it leads you to believe that Ezekiel will go back out. How many people thought when he said, thank you, Michonne, that, oh, no. He won't go back out to kill himself, but he will go out by himself to sacrifice himself if it goes out that way. I don't think he's going to do it on purpose. I think it's just going to be the nature of it where he's going to get overwhelmed. Shannon M. Brandon called Negan Sir in episode 1. Is he a savior? No, he's a yes man. He is somebody too young to be a savior. He's somebody that, to me it's weird, but I don't know. I don't know if I can do this without offending some people. You know what? I'm just going to do it. Sorry. How many of you are, you're very interested in serial killers. You have like that fascination. You almost admire them to a degree. And the only reason why I said I'm going to offend some is because I don't admire killers of any sort. I have no respect for anyone who's taken someone else's life. I just don't. I don't care. I don't put them on a pedestal. So, yeah, if I'm isolating my audience, I'm sorry. And you're probably going to say, well, no, I just like to know why they think or what makes them tick. I can wonder what makes them tick, but I don't put any of them on a pedestal because they killed people. It's, we glorify it by showing these CSI things, but there was nothing glorified about the people they had in the back of their trunk or the people they killed. With that being said, I understand it. Brandon has an admiration. He has a perversion for what Negan did. Whereas all the other people in Alexandria hate him and despise that he took their friends, this guy's like, oh, you're running. You're fast. Took me so long to catch up. Like that. And I'm thinking like, oh God, this whole time all he's going to be doing. And you know what we're going to see? Next episode, we're going to hear like, well, because I'm going to make a bold prediction early. It's going to be a minor bold prediction. But you know how, as an audience, we've always said, well, if you were a savior, then you would justify what Negan did because Rick killed his people. And then we all come back and we say, well, okay, I get it, but you didn't have to beat him down with a baseball bat. It's different, right? I think it is going to be one of the few times, this is my bold prediction, everybody. If it happens, write it down. If it happens, the next week we're talking about it, I want you guys to remember, I predicted it. I think Brandon is going to be one of the first characters to publicly acknowledge on the show through his admiration of Negan and say it almost exactly the way the people who defend Negan say it. I think as a character, they're actually going to have him do that line along of like, hey, I think you did a great job. They killed your people first. You were just defending yourself. You built an empire. I think that's going to be the type of thing that he's going to say. And it's going to show us how twisted he is and how much he admires him, like he admires him like a serial killer, like people that are just enamored with the Mansons of the world. Now, if it doesn't happen, then just forget that I ever said it. I'll deny it. I'll be like, no, I never said that. No, I think it's going to be one of the few times that we actually see that character portrayed, or that thought process portrayed through a character. I don't know, movie star. I don't think Brandon is going to bully Negan. I think Brandon is a fanboy. That he is going to absolutely justify and try to just stroke Negan's ego to a degree where it's going to be sickening. And Negan's going to get so annoyed by it that he's probably going to kill him. Crawfish. Joseph, Lucille's in the woods trying to find herself. Dead Shred. Michonne has Lucille somewhere. She knows. And never got rid of it. I think Rick, how many people think Rick had Lucille locked up somewhere in their house and Michonne knows exactly where it is? Just in case she ever had to use it on Negan. I absolutely think Rick put it somewhere. And it probably was with the line like, he ever steps out of line, you beat him down in front of everybody to prove the point. And I think Michonne is going to end up handing that over to Negan. And I am going to say, everybody, we got through about 1/3 of our recap, and it is sounding like a Lewis Grimes 3-cap, everybody. So here's the schedule the rest of the week. We're an hour in. We're going to wind this thing down. Tomorrow night at 7:30, just all I'm going to say, get your Red Bull, get your coffee, get whatever, because tomorrow night is probably going to be a little bit of my recent dislike for Aaron. So if you have a problem with Aaron's recent attitude, actions, all of the above, you want to be here tomorrow night at 7:30 because we're just going to let him know what it's all about. Tomorrow night at 9:30, we will do part 2 of our recap. Hopefully we will get through all of it. If not, Wednesday night, we got a brand new topic we're going to add Wednesday night, and then at 9:30, we will do the final part of the 3-cap. We're going to be doing double shots every night, so mark your calendars, 7:30 at 9 and 9:30. We will have topics each night. Thursday night, of course, we'll have our 7:30 topic, and then Thursday night at 9:30, we're going to do our bold predictions. So bold predictions is going to be episode number 5, who we think is going to die. I'm already going to go out on a limb and say, I think Kelly's gone next week, but I'm willing to say that right now. I just see that it's going to ramp up really, really quickly. So sorry, Kelly, but I'm saying right now she's out of the picture. I just see a lot of dominoes falling with Connie, with Daryl, with the story moving forward, Magnus' entire group. So we got a lot of good stuff going on. And, of course, Friday night we got a little thing, Freestyle Friday, and we're going to be doing Play Dead Live. We're going to be continuing last week's Play Dead Live, and I had a couple surprising twists that were coming out of Play Dead Live, but we didn't get to it. So you're going to want to tune in to see the second part. There's some pretty good team building that's going to come out of it, but there may be some brand new character introductions as well. Hey, thanks everybody. This is The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 4, complete recap number 1. I missed a couple super chats here too. Let me get Ben Stevenson. Ben, let me give you a shout out. He says, she will give it to him the episode she leaves. I agree. I agree 100% with that, Ben Stevenson. I think she will give him that bat and probably say, protect Judith with that bat. There you go. We also got, hold on, everybody. We got another super chat in the house, and it is Captain Crawfish. Coffee with kills after dark. We're going to fire it up. I can promise you guys that your frustration with Aaron will be channeled, oh, here's my word, and funneled through me. So I will absolutely be your voice tomorrow night to 7:30. Be here. If not, watch the playback. But we are going to we're going to unload. Sorry, Aaron. Love you, Ross Marquand. But they gave you a bad script, and now we got to hammer you tomorrow. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for everything you do. Super special shout out to the Patreon Army. We've got some brand new Patreons in the house. Shout out to Ron Moore, Ricky Lutz, Alejandro, and also Kim Sharp. And you guys can see up in the top right-hand corner, we've tipped the balance a little bit. We now have more female PDL sponsors than males. Judy Perry tipped the balance. That is our 13th PDL sponsors. I am just so proud, so humbled of that group and what you guys do to support our PDL. There's a lot of writing, a lot of planning, a lot of gameplay going on behind the scenes. Tune in Friday night. When you tune in for Freestyle Friday and you play, that segment is brought to you entirely by that group up there with the neon around their name. So thank you so much for the PDL sponsors. If you guys are interested in becoming a patron or PDL sponsor, there's a link down in the comments below. Also, shout out to my green team. Where's my green team? If you guys can do me a favor, and let's see the 4 mods, Emmy, Steph, Tommy, Kells. They're also our super fans. We're going to be mixing up our super fans in a couple days. And also, we got a bunch of new members that have hit the join button. We're going to be adding some new custom emojis for November 1st as well. Super chatters, great super chats tonight. If you guys got a second, I want to call out some of the super chatters because they contribute really, really heavy to the channel as well. But Fluff, Lur the Purr, Ecom, Cheryl and Tuck, thank you. Shannon M, super chatting tonight. DeMilo Young, Rolo Adams, Dark Star, Captain Crawfish with a ton of super chats tonight. And then several people, multiple here. Like I said, Shannon, Ben, a few others. Thank you so much. Appreciate everything that you guys are doing. And like I said, the moderators, incredible job every night. And last but certainly not least, this group here, the 999 Army, love showing up with you guys every night. The best theories, the best predictions, the best Walking Dead psychology anywhere. So if you guys are watching the playback and you love hanging out with a very mature group that likes to talk about the show, then make sure you subscribe and hang out with us. I will see everybody here tomorrow night at 7:30. And name tomorrow's stream. You done messed up, Aaron. Aaron, I do have a name for tomorrow's stream. And we'll see. It is, I'll announce it tomorrow, but you're going to see exactly my theme with Aaron and how I'm going to go after him tomorrow. So, yeah, hold tight for that. You'll see tomorrow's stream announced a little bit early tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. I will talk to you then. Peace.